And welcome. Once again, I am the database guy. We're in our intermediate VBA coding sub course within a course, and this is going to be interesting stuff. I think it's going to be fun for you. And I, I realize that some of these numbers here, I've been keeping them current, but I noticed in some of the videos I have fallen behind. But we are in the third video for sure. In this video, we're going to look at find first and find next, which sort of goes with record sets. It sort of tags into the, or brings into the, not tags in, but adds into the record sets uh, function that we were looking at, rather, I'm sorry. And we're going to look at this one here. And what I'm going to do here, wait a minute, we're going to take that out for just a moment. Okay, so if you look at this code right now, we're setting a string and we're naming it Herman Melville. Fine. You also are setting up a DBS as database as well as a record set, and these don't have to be here, as you know. We're going to take that out, and we're going to just put a comma here. And you can string these right along and another comma. And yeah, I know, I didn't finish the statement. It does not like it when you don't do that. It thinks you're writing something that isn't there. And okay. And so, as you see here, we're looking at, whoops, we are looking at, oh boy, you get this in there? There we go. We should be able to, there, that's what I want to do. So we're declaring string, the DBS is a database, the RST is the record set, and so on. Now the string name is Herman Melville. We're not going to use that for the moment. We set our DBS equal to our current database, and we're going to open the record set for our table for authors, which is right here. Okay. Now, we want to search for the first matching record. So we're going to use something called a FindFirst. And essentially, in IntelliSense, now I don't have the with statement here, but RST dot, and we hit the FIN. So you have four of them. You have find first, find last, find next, and find previous. I don't find a purpose, or I don't see a purpose in using the find last. You could, and the find previous means going back up and looking up. I don't know if you need those, but the two big ones are find first and find next. So when we write find first here, we have to, in quotes here, we have to have the name of the field that we're looking at. And in this case here, field author. It is. All right. Now we're using this little operator called like, meaning that anything that we see with an HER, and we have two asterisks or asterisks next to it, meaning wildcards. So we're looking at anything that contains the letters HER, right? So we're going to do that, and then we're going to check those results. If there's no match, then we didn't find any records. Go to cleanup, and our cleanup means to simply close the record set it to nothing, set the database to nothing. We could have closed the database after this as well, but it's no need. And the go to cleanup, we saw the go to statement a while back on the go sub. And the difference is once we go to go to, we cannot come back up to the code. Go sub would allow us to return. We don't have a return on go to. We're just going to clean up and end it, and we're done. Otherwise, while not RST no match, meaning we found something, we're going to then display a message box with the author's name, and then we're going to go and find the next version of that author with the HER in there. We're going to keep looping until we find them all. And then, of course, there is a little piece of code here to find the next matching record. So we really don't need that last part of it, believe it or not. This was some sort of code that I'd found, but I've done this before. And so basically, it's just saying find one more match to it. All right. And then, of course, end if here. So we have this whole if, else, and end if. So we only have an if condition, and then if we don't find that, we have the else condition. So it's either a match or a no match. It's one of two. And we go from there. So we're going to type over here, find A-U-T, name. And it found the author name of Herman Melville. Great. Then it found Hermann Hesse. So let's look what happened here. It used this like over here, and it said, okay, I want to find something, the first one that has that HER. And if we go to our authors table, very first one is Melville, Herman Melville. And then, of course, right, we want to find the next one, which happens to be Hermann Hesse. And it is several records below here. Now, you notice in this particular one here, I didn't have to go to the last record, go to the first record. I didn't have to check if there were no records. Why? Because I'm not worried about the record count, not worried about using that to loop. My loop is my do while no, while not RST no match. In other words, do while I find one match and display that value. And then find the next one and loop through it, and then again, display that in a message box as well. And so you saw the first one displayed was Herman Melville in the message box, and then, of course, Hermann Hesse. And then it stopped. So then what if, and this is pretty good, but the like is something that you might want to use, but it's also going to give you a lot of less specificity. It's going to give you a lot of values. We're going to comment that out, and the one below it, uncomment it. Now, here's where we're going to use our string name. So we're only going to be looking for Herman Melville. When you do this, you will do the same thing. Quotes, double quotes, field author equals. Then you're going to use a single quote and a double quote and an ampersand, and then the string name, or if it's a text box name, or whatever it might be, combo box name, another ampersand, another double quote, another apostrophe, and another double quote. And this way here, what it does is it allows you to place any variable you want in there for text, right? So let's see what happens here. We find Herman Melville. It also will find Hermann Hesse. Why? Because we're doing the like over here, right? We're running that like after we find it. After we find the author, we go to find next and we're doing a like. So let us unquote that out of there. Just specific for finding one answer, Herman Melville. It's going to keep going and see if I can break through it, and hopefully I can. It's not letting me, so we're going to see if we can go control break, shift control break, and we're not doing that. So it's actually running the loop, and let's see. Yeah, it'll completely run the loop until it won't stop because it's found a match. So what I'm going to do here is go to my task manager, and I'm going to stop this from running. Come on, end the task. Okay, we should be good. Yeah, and we'll bring it back up. So if you notice what happened there, and it was kind of nasty, was that we kept running it. So essentially, we did a do while not not RST no match, and if we hadn't found another, so let's try that HR and see what happens. We're going to leave everything as it is, so we should find a Herman Melville, but no other thing. So all right, so let's see what it did. Again, it was fast. Herman Melville. Now we have the HR for Agatha Christie, and we have the HR for Nathaniel Hawthorne. So this do while loop here, if I don't place another find line of code in that, I'm going to have a problem with it. I don't have to. I can just not even loop through it. I can take out, we're going to put this HER back in. But what I'm going to do here is say we don't need to loop through it. Just find the first one and give me it and print it out, right? So just give it to me. Else, so if RST no match, uh, then clean up. But if we do have a match, just print it out. And let's also take this one out too. We don't need that. Come on, comment it out. Here we go. All right, save it, debug it, make sure there's no problems, and run. We only find Melville, and we close. All right. And by the way, unlike one of our ghost sub routines that we had here, we don't have to have an exit sub. We want it to run regardless. So if we don't find any records, we'll clean up. And if we do find records, we're going to clean up. So we got to make sure we clean up after we do this. And you don't have to close, well, you could close the database if you want, but at a minimum, you should close the record set and set each equal to nothing. And I believe I showed you that. Now, this is for text. And so in here, we don't have, let's see, well, we're at a main module here. But if we were in one of our form modules or form events, we could place the name of a text box, as I said, or a combo here. And so you could drop it down and run this, let's say on an after update, and find the value you're looking for, okay? And once you find it, um, uh, and so that, right, you would have your, whatever your control name is in here. Now, this is for text. What if you're using something for a number, right? With a number, you could specify it this way, right? So say my control has a value to it. Well, I'm just using the integer AID here, setting it equal to 4. I'm declaring it implicitly and going through everything here. All right, I'm going to take out this, because we don't need that, and the loop, and just print out the value. And this as well. So we're going to run this. I could have put it at the end of that, doesn't matter. And so Charles Dickens comes up as number 4. And if we go into our authors, there he is. So when you're dealing with something like an integer, you don't have to have the quotes around this, right? In the same way, okay? Right here, this whole thing here, you don't have to have that. By the way, in the message box, we had the ampersand, which concatenates information, okay? And so we have author name, and then we have and RST. We're looking, when we look at the record set with an apostrophe, that is what we're looking at for the particular record and the author that we found. We're doing the same thing here. This actually here should be AID. Shouldn't be Charles Dickens, but we could have AID here, and then we go there. Oops, wait a minute. I'm sorry, it's field. Sorry. I think it's field. Hang on a second. Oh, RST. Yeah. Field. Yeah. I always put field in there, so here we go. There we go. Author name, or author number should be. And let's run it one more time. Yeah, author number is 4. So, with this, now you could have placed anything in here. I could have placed in a text box over here, I'm sorry, here, anything I wanted to look for a value. Now, when you get to dates and things like that, we're not there just yet. It's a little more involved. You need things called the pound signs to be able to um, uh, recognize a date and so on. If this were a Boolean, it would be very much like, it could be very much like a integer of either a 0 or a 1. We'll see examples of that somewhere down the line. So in the FindFirst method, we find the first instance. Now I want to show you one more situation that's really nasty. All right, I'm going to take the last one. I put this name in here. And you might already see what you think is going to happen here. It should error out if we're right. I came across this issue um, many moons ago. All right. And so should error out. Yep, it is. What's happening here? See that apostrophe? It's looking at that and it's saying, I am completely confused. All right. Totally confused with what this is. Um, um, you know, so what we're going to do here, what we have to, what happens is this. I have these, whoops, sorry, here, and I have to change this to this. So I'm hoping this is enough. I think it was 4. So I'm going to put in an extra 2 just to be on the safe side. Because what happens is it cannot recognize it. Let's do a debug. Oh, I'm sorry, compile. I think we're good. What happens is, there it is, John O'Shea. If you don't put that many in here, it looks at the single apostrophe and it starts breaking up the name into John O and then the O'Shea part. Now, I could leave this exactly the way I have it in my FindFirst, and I could put somebody else's name in. And this is really the way you should write it if you're doing text. So I'm going to put in, let's put in Edgar Allan Poe. Let's get him in there as my string. All right. And we would debug compile. And if I run this now, I should get, and I do get Edgar Allan Poe. So when you run those single quotes, it will work for many pieces of data, but when you start getting names with O'Shea, O'Reilly, anything with an apostrophe in there, anything even potentially with a weird character, you might have an error. So this is how you want to, right, do this. Now, to close this, I want to just go back here. And I'm going to put the, let's see what happens. I'm sorry. Hang on a second. There we go. Can we do that? Let's see. I hope we can. Let me just make sure yeah, looks good. Debug, compile, save it. Yeah, syntax error here. Because it's looking at this and it's going, can't have that in there. Let's just try the O, see what happens. Edgar Allan Poe is the only one that matches. So even on this one here, and let's try with this. Let's see if that'll work. Nope, it quotes it out. Yeah, it's really stingy. Let's put Shay. Let's see if that's the right name. O'Shea. Let's see if it airs out on that, just curiously. Because see, that apostrophe, you'll find, John O'Shea. Now it finds that fine, but if you're trying to put that in the beginning, you're stuck. So, and just to come full circle, and I think we did this here, but we'll do it one more time just to prove to you, and it does work. So, when you have any kind of a name with a character like that, an apostrophe, you have to use, with text, this kind of setup here. So it's 1 here plus the name of the field equals 3 of them, ampersand, the variable, ampersand, and 4 of them. So you're basically, what you're doing is, these 3 you see here and these 3 you see here are encapsulating this name. The other 2 are encapsulating the FindFirst statement. Right, so, and that's really what FindFirst is about. So what can you use FindFirst for? Well, you can use it to locate, let us say, I would say more for numbers. If I'm locating a client number or an employee ID, something that's unique, I want to find the first incidence of that so I know I can pull up the employee or the client information. I want to have that there. So I don't want it to be something that is going to be some kind of somewhat repetitive. So in our example for what we were doing here, right, Herman and Herman, unless you're very specific for that name, you're going to come up with 2. So if I say equal to Herman, right, and I would have to, if I said like Herman or even equal to Herman, I'm going to come up with probably 2 possibilities there, and obviously Herman Hesse and Herman Melville. So you really want to look at specific data, and usually you're searching for it and you want the first occurrence of it. And you want data that is typically non-repetitive. You want primary key data or some kind of unique data. What have I used it for? So I will look, say, for the first occurrence. If my one client that I have right now, her database, does this particular representative exist in the database? Give me the find it first. And if it doesn't, then I know it's not a new representative. Okay, so I have no match. If not no match, then I have a new representative and I can process that data accordingly, right? So what you want to do is you want to be careful with these, but they're very, very important. And as I said, 99% of the time you're going to have in here a control, a text box name, a combo box name, something like that. And you're going to want to debug print as well, what that is, okay? And also here, we don't need to worry about, as I've said, going from record set last back up to record set first and doing a record count. You don't have to. Our do here in our loop here is while you have no match, right? So we did a do while no match, or not no match, I should say, which means we have a match. You can't just say do while match because you can't do that. You have RST no match, meaning I don't have a match in the record set. So, and we're going to go through all of the record set methods and properties too. And as we said here, if record set no match, if I didn't find anything, I'm going to just exit and clean up. Record not found, clean up. So let's give an example of that. And let's see here. Right, I'm not going to find this record in there, right? Or I shouldn't. Not where to be in there. So record not found, and it will end. Sorry, didn't find it. It went through it, right? It looked through it for the first record. It searched all of those, the entire record set, okay, and didn't find it. Didn't find one match to it. Um, we only had a loop once we found something to find the next item that was matching it. So with a find first, I'm only looking for the first item anyway. I don't have to loop through it, right? So if I have 10,000 records, I want to just find the first record. And again, let's see, we're going to put somebody in there that's there. Whoop, there we go. Okay. And let's see, hopefully we'll find a record, and it does. And it's going back, and we got a problem here. We're looping again all over the place because I think oh yes, we took out the find next, as you can see below. So, in any event, that is the find first method, and it's a really neat method to use. And the find next, again, when you find first, you find the first occurrence. To find the next one, you're going to loop through and keep looking for the next occurrences. Do while you find something, and I'm going to keep looping through to find the next one until I find no match there as well. I'm going to end it. Now, in terms of find previous and find last, I just don't see a need for them. I would have to go back up to something I'd already found with find previous, and really it has to do with the point at which you are in the database or in the record set of the database. Wouldn't worry too much about it. And find last, I don't know why you would want that. Find last is more, we're looking for the last occurrence of something and so on. I hope this has been helpful for you. And that's our third intermediate piece of coursework. When we come back, we'll be continuing this on intermediate VBA coding. And you notice also we didn't use the with here. We could have used the with. We could have. Once we use the with, it's just we say with RST, and then it's just dot and whatever we need. So, and you'll see more of that. It helps you with coding as well. So, please like, subscribe, stay with me. It's all free for you. Wherever you are, have a good evening, day, morning, night, a good life, and take care.